Hi, it's Mary. Welcome back. I have now completed the first module of the LINC course, Inclusion in Early Years Setting Concepts and Strategies. It was an informative course, so today I'm here to share with you by outlining the benefits our practice has already achieved, even in Module 1. So I've invited some co-colleagues today to give you feedback from their perspective on the information that we have cascaded throughout the house. And that would be Ailish O'Donnell and Eva Stembridge. Both, by the way, are Mary I graduates. So the 6 weeks flew, I have to say, and we were constantly supported by the staff of Mary I. Sharon Skehill, I would say, has been available 24/7. It was marvellous to interact with her with the group activities, also by email. She was outstanding in her self-guided instructions on how to handle Moodle, and even rang me on one occasion. We had stormy weather and the internet was down, so therefore we could not participate in a group activity, and quickly came up with a contingency, a new venue, new date, which really was amazing and extremely impressive, highlighting the commitment to her job. The venue in Chew is very convenient. It was literally an hour up the road. The staff were extremely attentive in the Ardrey Hotel, and most of us enjoyed our soup at lunchtime. Meeting with fellow colleagues and students in the Ardrey was a lovely experience. We got to share our work ideas and interests, and I felt networking is extremely important in this industry and there isn't enough of it. So maybe this could be the beginning of something. Weekly activities were manageable. Some weeks you had pressure, other weeks you didn't. It may vary from a multiple choice to 3 assignments with 200 words each, but we got there. The final submission of the assignment, which was my academic writing, which is not my favourite, but we've managed it, and moving on and ready for the next module. I think reflecting on this particular module, what most impacted me was the changing traditions, from the concept of Montessori to introducing the importance of play in the early years, which was vital. My new role now as a LINC coordinator in-house was made extremely easy by having such assertive staff that were willing to participate in the last 6 weeks and learn from the LINC program. And, I think that's marvellous to have that support behind you while you are attending this particular course, and have everybody engaged in it and cascade the information in-house there and then, because I'm sure it's going to be quite an intensive course by the time we reach June. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Ailish, who is going to give you her own perspectives on the information we cascaded.
Hi, I'm Ailish. I'm going to talk to you today about how we cascaded the LINC information down amongst our team. Mary invited us all to sit in on the live discussions during our lunchtimes, which I found very informative. It was really good to be able to see how the other centres took the learned information and developed it into their curriculums. We created a folder for our fellow colleagues, and we put all the slides from each lesson and placed it in the office as an accessible resource for all. For our parents, we held an open information evening, which we highlighted the importance of AIM for maintaining and creating an inclusive environment. During this open evening, we also spoke about the strengths-based approach in documenting learning for the children and their development. I think it was very vital for them to see how we incorporate the strengths-based approach in planning onwards for their development. We also gave them an example of strengths-based approach, as well as for staff during our in-house training. We created an example using a situation which we had found during a day, and then we evaluated it and discussed it amongst the team. Mary and I received the content of units 1 to 6, and we circulated them through our in-house trainings, which we have every Tuesday evening. We provided reflections for the team, and then the next week we would gather these reflections and we'd discuss them and see where we would go from there. All the staff found them so useful and they were really helpful in evaluating our own practice. During these in-house training sessions, we rolled out the 7 steps of conflict resolution in approaching challenging behaviour. We are also sharing this wonderful resource with the parents in helping them to manage behaviours at home so that there is consistency across the board. This consistency will have an excellent effect on how children manage their own behaviours. It was so useful for us to have an example of activity charts and learning sacks which were provided during a session in Tune. We now use these examples to customise our own resources in consultation with the children in our group. I will now hand you to Eva Stembridge to talk about creating our environments.
Hi, my name is Eva and I'm going to talk about how we have created the environment. We've created the environment through a rich, stimulating environment which constantly adapts to individual children's interests and capabilities. We have created a temporal environment which focuses on schedules, routines and transitions, so that the 3-hour ECCE session runs effectively while affording each child equal opportunities for learning and development reflecting on their interests. An example of this is we use a bell and a timer which creates a visual and auditory aid to prepare and support children for looming transitions. The children's flow of play and engagement is not interrupted and children get to finish their activities before moving on to the next stage of the day. We have also introduced the task timeline to assist children in the process of effective hand washing. Using pictures of the children participating in the steps of hand washing has proven to benefit children in completing the effective hand washing that is needed every day. We are fortunate that we have access to an indoor and outdoor physical environment equipped with a variety of challenging resources for fine and gross motor skills. Natural and man-made materials are used to scaffold their interests and learning through play. Mary keeps highlighting that we must be mindful to adapt the resources in the environment for inclusiveness, but to the capacity of each child, perhaps to simply minimise the quantity and alter the setup. The interactional environment, which is a combination of the temporal and physical environment, it is used to support children in social interactions, and it is also, in some cases, develops lifelong friendships. Here we have introduced also an emotions chart so that the children can freely express how they are feeling throughout the day. It also helps the children to recognise and empathise with others if they are feeling lonely or sad. All of the above comply with children's engagement with people, ideas, resources and materials, which triggers their curiosity and motivation to learn. All in all, it is a more stress-free environment and it creates a sense of flow throughout the day, which is a win-win for educators and children.